welcome back to the Diamond Lane here on Classic 107. My name is Chris Wolf. It is 5 o'clock on the first Wednesday of the month, and that means it is time to hear from our resident wine and food expert, George Andrews from G.J. Andrews Food and Wine Shop on Academy Road. George has stopped by to tell us about his favorite wine for this month of March in this March edition of Uncorked. Hi, George. It's nice to have you back.
Thanks for having me back. Nice to be here.
So this month, it seems that you are dreaming of southern Italy. You've chosen a wine from the Calabria,
yes.
Calabria wine region. What wine have you chosen for us this month?
This is the Ciro. It's a 2018 vintage. It's a Gaglioppo grape from the Calabria region. It's a very nice medium-bodied wine. Nice flavors to it, dark raspberry, red berry, dried wild herbs, got a little bit of smoky flavors, and really nice firm tannins to it.
Sounds fantastic. One of the things I noticed is that it's a wine from 2018. As a seller of wine, how much do you keep track of the years that the wines were made? And can you talk about why the year is so important in regards to wines? And how much information do specific winemakers give you in regards to the year that the wine was made?
You know, it depends on, nowadays everything, there's so much online. You can search a wine and get a lot of information on it. The winemakers will generally provide us with notes, or the representative from the company selling the wine, provide us with notes showing tasting notes, that type of thing. Most wines, they say that 90% of all wines are meant to be consumed within 3 to 4 years. And a good percentage of those within the first year of bottling. So not all wines are meant to age a long time. The wine has to have a lot of characteristics to it and be of very exceptional value before you're going to age it for years, especially decades. So something like a Lafite Rothschild that you could age for 30, 40, 50 years if it's a real premium vintage.
Right.
That's very different than something like like this wine here that we're talking about. So a 2018, this is going to be very smooth. It's perfect to drink right now. Elegant, soft, easy drinking, nice body to it, good flavors. The tannins will have softened. So as the wine ages, the tannins soften. So you don't get that dry, puckering sensation when you drink it, which a lot of people find unpleasant in red wines.
Right.
But it's also something that if a wine is a little bit tannic and it's too tannic for you, just have something fattier with it. The fattier the food, the softer the tannins.
Okay. I was reading in the notes that you sent about the wine that recent DNA of the grape suggests that it is a descendant of the, help me out with the pronunciation of here, the Sangiovese?
Yes, Sangiovese grape.
Wine grape? What is so special about this kind of grape?
Sangiovese grape is higher in acidity. And so it's very popular in Italy. And the Italian cuisine has a lot of tomato in it. So tomato sauce, tomatoes, paste, there's a lot of acidity in tomato. So if you're drinking a wine that's very low in acidity and you're eating an acidic food, the wine's going to taste flat. So you want a wine that will stand up to the acidity in the food and still hold its own. Right. So the two pair very well together because there's good acidity in a Sangiovese wine or wines made with Sangiovese grape. There's good acidity there, so it'll stand up to the acid in the tomatoes that you're having or the tomato sauce, that type of thing. So whether it's a veal with a tomato sauce on it or pasta with tomato sauce, it'll stand up to it.
Oh, amazing. You were saying it earlier that it goes well with pasta and tomato sauce, so it's good with any Italian dinner. Any specific kinds of pasta? And I'm not just talking here about penne and maybe linguine, but I'm also talking about the kinds of grains that pasta is made of. I know that there's corn pasta and quinoa pasta, spelt.
Durum wheat, semolina.
Can you talk about, first of all, what the different grains do to the texture of the pasta and what kinds of pasta would go well with this wine?
So it's a very good question. So something like durum pasta or semolina pasta, you're going to find they have a little bit more firmness to them if you cook them al dente. Whereas if you take something like the pasta done with corn or with rice, they get softer. So you have to be very careful when you're cooking them. Cooking times would be different. I've had actually very recently some corn pasta, and it can get quite mushy on you if it's even slightly overcooked, whereas semolina pasta won't get mushy on you if it's overcooked a minute or two. So the different pastas. I had some spelt pasta last night, actually, with a tomato sauce on it. And it's very much like a whole wheat pasta, but it's even coarser textured. So it's a much, I guess you could say, grainier, more fiber feel to it in the mouth. Right. Whereas something like semolina pasta is very soft in the mouth.
So is there like a specific, like if you were drinking this wine, is there a specific pasta that would be your first choice?
No, it's more the sauce that is going to affect the combination with the wine that you're doing, not so much the pasta itself. The pasta is just more of a preference of what you really like and what you prefer. If you're drinking, if you want something, like let's say you're just doing, traditionally there's a traditional Greek way to do pasta, and that's with burnt butter. So you brown the butter, you get it so it's frothing, and then you pour it over the pasta, and then just add some dry salted Mazzitra cheese to it. So if you're doing something like that on a spelt pasta, then I'd say you could look for a wine that has a little bit of a nutty taste, because the whole grains have more of that nutty taste to them. So then that might be a good pairing like that. But if you're putting any kind of a sauce on it, then your wine is the more important factor in pairing, or your sauce is the more important factor in pairing with the wine.
Which leads perfectly to my next question. And this is in some ways sort of a no-brainer, but I sort of want to know, what's the advantage going to G.J. Andrews and spending a little bit more money on a quality pasta sauce as opposed to going to Superstore and getting the, Prego or, the cheap stuff? What are the advantages?
I think it literally comes down to the selections that are available. It's not a big price difference between a lot of them, and quality of ingredients. So most of the pasta sauce, or pretty well all of the pasta sauces that we have, the specialty ones, there are no preservatives, no chemical additives, nothing. So they're just very pure. They're more boutique-ish. So they're not your mass-produced, as you said, the one name you mentioned, they're not your mass-produced pasta sauces that are basically machined. These are small kind of cottage industry producers. So the prices are a little bit higher on them, but it's nothing that's astronomical. And the flavors, like, when you're getting like a vodka cream sauce and, like I'll even use when I'm making homemade pizza, if I don't feel like making my own sauce, I'm in a hurry, I'll take a nice boutique pasta sauce, like a tomato basil pasta sauce, tomato, and that'll be my sauce on the crust if I'm doing something with a tomato base.
Oh, sounds fantastic. I was also reading that the Ciro goes well with a charcuterie platter. What specific kinds of things would you put on a charcuterie platter to enhance the flavor of the wine? So
things like, actually some of the salty meats go really well. So prosciutto ham, prosciutto salami, capicola, and the wine's got a little bit of acidity to it, so it stands up to a little bit of spice as well. So if you do something like hot capicola, that's very good. And then we'll do cheeses like Asiago, Parmesan, Reggiano. A lot of people think that Reggiano and Parmesan are just cheeses or Romano. Those are cheeses for pasta only, whereas they're fabulous cheeses just to have cut up on a charcuterie board with some fresh baguette, a little bit of compote, some mustards, olives, marinated artichoke hearts. Excellent pairings with them.
Oh, fantastic. And of course, all the items we've talked about today can be found at G.J. Andrews Food and Wine Shop located at 384 Academy Road, right, George?
Absolutely.
And if people are interested in catering, where can they go?
Just give me a shout at the store.
Perfect.
Me or my manager, Amber, and we will take care of everything for you.
Amazing. George, as always, this has been so much fun. I got to start bringing some snacks into the studio because now I'm super hungry. Thanks for stopping by and taking the time to chat with me today.
Thanks very much.